Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to do a quick video about the whole Hillary Clinton deciding to run for president. Now, before you make a really good sound judgment here, let me go ahead and go over some stories. And as many of you already know, Hillary Clinton herself is a former Secretary of State. She was responsible for the whole Benghazi fiasco. And yeah, she's going to run for president. That sounds like a great idea here and now. I am currently right now looking at an article out of The Guardian, the U.S. consulate attack in Benghazi, a challenge to official version of events. A year after the first U.S. ambassador in 33 years was killed on duty, Chris Stevens was one of the first Western reporters on the scene in Benghazi, pieced together what really happened from witness accounts, official reports, and the ruins of the compound. Now, what witnesses are saying was that an individual who was dressed as a policeman went over there, took pictures, was told to leave, left, and then another car had came. It was an unmarked car, so no one knew who it was. They made circles around the compound to, sort of check things out, I guess. Left, and the White House was warned of this. They said, hey, there's some suspicious activity going on here. Can you guys send us some help? Would you? And this was before the attack had taken place. Now, let me read you what the U.S. version was to that story. The State Department says there was no warning of impending attack, a spokesman insisting there was nothing unusual during the day at all, which was after they had received that warning. So in other words, we're going to ignore it. You know what I mean? We're going to ignore it. And that falls on Hillary Clinton, because at that time she was Secretary of State. Conflicting evidence. 2 days earlier, the ambassador to Libya, Chris Stevens, had received a veiled warning. According to one of his cables, one of his diplomats had a meeting with two Islamist militia leaders in which they complained that U.S. was supporting a secular leader, Mohammed Jibril, in a vote for prime minister due on September 12th. If Jibril won, they warned they would no longer guarantee security. The consulate was already relying on one of the militias, the February 17th Martyrs Brigade, for armed protection. And it goes on to say, let me go ahead and read some more of the U.S.'s version here. The State Department insists the compound had been well fortified in the spring. The walls have been raised to 3.6 meters, 12 feet, and topped with barbed wire and cortina barbed wire. The villa had been prepared as a redoubt in the event the walls were breached. It was surrounded by sandbagged emplacements fitted with grills on the windows and bulletproof steel doors. Security cameras covered the site. So that's the U.S. version. So they're saying that it was well guarded. Let's hear some more conflicting evidence. Most of the wall running around the compound had not been heightened beyond around 8 feet. The rear wall also had no wire. 2 days after the attack, the landlord showed the Guardian where attackers had scrambled over. It was easy for them, he said. Whether cameras were mounted outside the compound is unclear, but failure to see what diners at the Venezia could see in the 10 minutes before the attack would have catastrophic consequences. So you have here conflicting U.S. reports and conflicting eyewitness reports. The U.S. was clearly warned of this, that this was going to take place, since there had already been suspicious activity being reported from Ambassador Chris Stevens and the crew. Now, let me go ahead and play a video. You won't see it here. You'll hear the audio, but I will put the video down below, so make sure you watch this video. And I'm going to play two videos. I'm going to play this one, Hillary Clinton's very moment at Benghazi hearing, and I'm going to play her infamous "we came, we saw, he died" quote. So let me go ahead and get started here. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let's see.
People have accused Ambassador Rice and the administration of, misleading Americans. I can say, trying to be in the middle of this and understanding what was going on, nothing could be further from the truth. Was information developing? Was the situation fluid? Would we reach conclusions later that weren't reached initially? And I appreciate
Madam Secretary, do you disagree with me that a simple phone call to those evacuees to determine what happened wouldn't have ascertained immediately that there was no protest? I mean, that was a piece of information that could have been easily obtained.
Well, but Senator,
within hours, if not days.
Senator, when you're in these positions, the last thing you want to do is interfere with any other process going on.
I realize that's a good excuse.
Number two, no, it's the fact. Number two, I would recommend highly you read both what the ARB said about it and the classified ARB, because even today there are questions being raised. Now, we have no doubt they were terrorists, they were militants, they attacked us, they killed our people. But what was going on and why they were doing what they were doing?
No.
Now, again, let me remind you before we go ahead and finish watching this that they were warned by the militias themselves, who may not have been part of the attack, but they themselves said, we can't protect you anymore if you support this political figure. So that's a warning. They knew about this. I mean, you're Ambassador Chris Stevens. You're sitting there. This guy's saying, we can't protect you. You got to stop supporting this political entity here. And then when you're Chris Stevens, you're like, all right, well, what do? I have to report this. They're saying they can't protect us. I need to get some security over here. I have to warn the U.S. State Department. So let's go ahead and finish this, because what she's saying is basically they weren't given enough information and they couldn't piece everything together. But all the evidence was out there. I mean, anyone with 2 brain cells can put this together. Way before this attack had occurred.
You were misled that there were supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that. And that was easily ascertained that was not the fact. And the American people could have known that within days, and they didn't know that.
With all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make? It is our job to figure out what happened and do everything we can to prevent it from ever happening again, Senator. Now, honestly, I will do my best to answer your questions.
In other words, it was someone else's fault.
Questions about this, but the fact is that people were trying in real time to get to the best information. The IC has a process, I understand, going with the other committees to explain how these talking points came out. But
you see how she starts blaming other people? Come on.
To be
Give
clear,
me a break.
It is, from my perspective, less important today, looking backwards, as to why these militants decided they did it, than to find them and bring them to justice, and then maybe we'll figure out what was going on in the meantime.
Yeah, come on, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? And you see how she blames somebody else for this happening. She knew about it. They have to have known about it. I mean, let me go ahead and play this quote out of, here we go. Where is it? I have to look for it. Alright, let me go ahead. It's only 12 seconds long, so let's go ahead and check it out.
I mean, that is the land of unconcern. We came, we saw, he died. He didn't have anything to do with...
As a matter of fact, let me play that again.
So, I mean, that is
I need you to hear this loud and clear.
We came, we saw, he died.
That could be your future president. That could be your future president. And your future president is sitting there laughing because it's fun for them to kill other people. So if they can go out and kill someone in foreign lands, what makes you think they're not going to kill you? And these people are running for president. These people are running for your local government, your state government. These people are running for class president of your freaking school. And these people are so outrageous that people actually consider these people credible to become president. I don't get it. Excuse me for my rant, but why? And this is why we don't have an economy. This is why. We don't deserve to have an economy. We don't deserve to be wealthy when we allow people like this to get into positions of power in the country. I mean, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll link, as I said, I'll link that and I'll link the other video below. So, of course, make sure you rate, you subscribe, you comment. Please, I would love to hear some comments. We can all go back and forth, and it'll be a good time. So remember, no one else is the superstar but yourself. All right, have confidence in yourself. Go out, change the world, and make everybody else a better person. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and take care. I'll see you guys later. Bye.